Greetings and welcome. It's Sports Center from a euphoric Oklahoma City, where the Thunder have won their 84th game, the 16th of this postseason, and they are the champions of the NBA in 2025. Man, it started like it might be something truly all-time. Thunder looking to grab the Larry O'Brien. Pacers, as I described, looking for their first in franchise history. And from the jump, Tyrese Halliburton looked like he was ready to show off on this big stage. Knocks down the deep three and knocks down another 3 threes. Halliburton feeling it. This Pacer team didn't blink. And then here, as he cuts to the bucket, you immediately see him slapping the floor in frustration. It ends in a bucket on the other end, but it is just absolutely heartbreaking to see a moment this big and a guy who's fought as hard as he's fought all season. It's that telltale pop in the calf. And how often have we seen a calf injury, sadly, become an Achilles injury? His team surrounds him, his father in tears, and you can understand the absolute dejection. However, this Pacer team didn't come this far to come this far, and they battle hard. It's a tie game. When Shea hits that bucket, they lead by 2. It was a great game 3 for Mathurin at home, and Benedict Mathurin was excellent in this game as well. Here late as the first half winds down, the step back 3, and Andrew Nembhard hits that, and I saw this team walk down the hallway just outside our offices. They were resilient. They said nothing but the routine. Let's keep doing what we do. They believed they could win this game, but third quarters all season long for this Thunder team have been where they send teams to die. You saw the Dort 3, then Jalen off the steal. The step under, the toughness to get through the contact. The lead is now grown to 6. Shea spins, kicks, and all 3 of these around and down. Friendly roll, and the lead swells to 9. Shea, the pull-up. No, it rattles out. Second chance points, turnovers, and threes. That was the story of a 14-point plus for the Thunder that pushed the lead out. It's now 13 into the fourth. SGA step back 3. He had 29, a dozen assists. The lead is growing. TJ McConnell gave this team great minutes for a stretch into the third, but here they cannot get the bucket down low. And now again, it's Shea who probes the defense. This was the Pacer plan. Make this team beat us from 3. They haven't been able to throughout, but tonight they buried big-time threes. SGA Williams joined LeBron and Kyrie, only teammates to score 160-plus in a final series. It's a 10-point game late, and you just never know, but on the outlet, woo-woo-woo, it's Chet to the cup. The lead is back to a dozen, and the Pacer team battled their butts off all postseason long. You can honor yourself in defeat, and I'd say this team absolutely did. But this team in blue, the home team in blue, I guess I should say, they were the best team in the regular season, and at the end, they're the best team in the playoffs. They hoist the Larry O'Brien high. The folks here in Oklahoma City, they are getting ready for a parade. The path maybe doesn't matter a ton to them at the moment because they're just celebrating. But history will show that this was how they got to 16 victories. Feels like a lifetime ago. For the first round against Memphis, Thunder led the series 2-0. In Game 3, they trailed by as many as 29 points, by 26 at the half, but they came roaring back in that game. They erased the largest deficit in the history of the NBA playoffs in a game they would win. They won Game 4 as well. They swept Memphis out, and they advanced forward. Western Conference semis, and this was an absolute Donnybrook. Goes 7 against Denver. And again, they had the trump card in their back pocket. They got to play in this building in a Game 7. And in that Game 7, kind of like the script here, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams both go nuts. They combined for 59. And the Thunder advanced to their first conference finals in nearly a decade. Wasn't as rugged a battle against Minnesota. Took 5 games. Minnesota played great at home in Game 4. Weren't able to get the victory. And here, again, in this building in Game 5, Timberwolves won kind of quietly. Shea had 34, 8 assists, 7 boards en route to winning the Irvin Magic Johnson MVP trophy, setting up the NBA Finals we just witnessed against Indiana, which went these 7 games. And again, it's a hell of a feather to have in the cap that if push comes to shove and you've got to come home for a 7th game, you're coming to this building. And they got the victory in 7. Thunder first 23 turnovers, converted those into 32 points. Shea, the MVP, goes for 29, a dozen assists, 5 boards, and it's a team in every sense of the word, and they are celebrating the victory tonight, tomorrow, and until they feel like calming down, I would imagine. 84 victories in total for this franchise. Stephen A. Smith alongside, and Stephen A., Brian Windhorst was just here, and I thought he framed it well. It's complicated, isn't it? Because this was the best team throughout, and yet the way the game began for Tyrese Halliburton, you were thinking, here we go. This is a Donnybrook, a coin flip, as you told me the other night. Yeah. It felt that way. When he went down, it felt almost certain that the Thunder would win. What are the overarching sort of emotions that you have of the game you just witnessed?
I love championships. I love competitive fervor. When the game is on the line, when the biggest prize is on the line, you want a thriller. And you don't want any excuses. You don't want any hiccups that into the equation. Halliburton starting off the way that he did. It would be one thing if he wasn't doing anything like he didn't do in Game 5 because his calf was bothering him and what have you, and that's what was transpiring. But he came out and he hit 3 threes, 3 of his first 4 shots, and he was putting you on notice. We're not going away. We're on the road for Game 7. And we came here to win this bad boy. And I just said to myself, when he went down, my heart broke for Tyrese Halliburton because obviously he hasn't played great, but he's had great moments in this postseason. Obviously, certainly great moments in the NBA Finals. And he's a difference maker. And when you saw him go down and writhing in pain the way that he was, your heart just dropped. But the Indiana Pacers kept fighting. They wouldn't go away. And they were right there at halftime. And I was saying to myself at halftime on the NBA countdown, I'm like, wait a minute now. These are the Oklahoma City Thunder. They've been the number 1 seed twice, back-to-back seasons. You're the favorites to win this. Halliburton goes down. That's like a shark in blood-infested waters. But there was no sharks on OKC other than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. There was no one helping him offensively. And he came out while everybody else looked a little jittery at first. Shai looked completely composed, like it might come down to me and Halliburton. I'm ready. What y'all going to do? But obviously that third quarter, even though T.J. McConnell scored 12 points in that third quarter, they outscored Indiana 34-20. They gained separation like you suspected they would have done a bit earlier. And they showed why they've been the best team in the NBA this year because their defense ruled the day, forcing 23 turnovers, 32 points off of those turnovers. That was the difference in this game. That's been a difference for OKC all season long.
And when you sat down, you said a little bit tired. That ice tub's going to be good when you get there, isn't it?
Yep. The whole summer's going to be good.
I bet. Job wasn't finished at any point until now.
Absolutely.
Now it is. No more games to win.
Yep.
When you accomplish that and you fulfill what I presume has been a dream since you're a young man.
Absolutely.
What are the first things that you start trying to kind of process?
The journey, I would say. You start reflecting on all the moments.